is a special presentation. From the Captain eSports Network.
Live from Eldora Speedway as we get ready for the GLSR Mr. Radiator Premier Series, except we're running trucks tonight. It's old school style truck racing at Eldora, which means we get to bring back the trucks just like the old days. If we're going to bring back the trucks like the old days, I guess I got to bring this back too. Welcome back, Truck Series, as tonight we get ready from Eldora Speedway. It is the Great Lakes Dirt Championships here from Ohio, Rossburg, Ohio, to be exact. I'm the captain with you on this Wednesday evening for one night only. It is truck racing here on the Captain eSports Network as we let the Xfinity cars or Premier cars sit to the sidelines, and we'll do some truck racing here tonight. Let's talk about the format. We're going to have some heat races coming up here momentarily, and that will lead into the main event tonight, 100 laps of feature racing. Last season, we had a lot of cautions in this race, 16 to be exact. Will we see that again tonight? We shall see, and obviously, it's a matter of time. But before we get started, obviously, want to send thoughts and prayers to everybody right now in the state of Florida. Just a few minutes ago, Hurricane Milton officially making landfall in the Siesta Key area around Sarasota, and as a Category 3 storm. And we have already seen, especially those who have family, myself, in Florida, a side of a hurricane that can be unpredictable, and that is all the tornadoes and the outbreak that broke out here earlier this afternoon, including a couple of large tornadoes, one to be exact, over in the area I was born, over in the Vero Beach area, Fort Pierce. Thoughts and prayers. Hopefully, haven't heard any news about passings or anything like that, but we hope for nothing but the best in that area. I've been looking at photos pretty much all evening with some friends and just kind of picking out spots where I'm like, oh, I know where that's at. Yeah, I know where that's at, that kind of thing. But more importantly, be with those right now in Florida that are going through this storm right now. And, of course, not to forget the ones in North Carolina, Tennessee, Georgia, and Florida from Hurricane Helene. We do have the American Red Cross logo and link there in the bottom of the description page of the race broadcast here. You can go to the American Red Cross and donate to victims of these storms and help them out. So there we go. As we get ready to go racing here in about less than a minute or so, let's take a look at the point standings. Going into tonight's race, Diego Sainz continues his hot start as he has a 1-point lead over last week's winner at Bristol, Sam Fontaine. Stephen Miles right there in third. Alex Bryson, Matt Telder having his best season of his career. He is in the fifth position. Dylan Rosenberg, Sean Peachin, Blaine Sparling, Jason Dalton, and Robert Lukens, your top 10 Of course, 12 drivers make the playoffs, which include potentially 2 wild cards. And right now, 11th and 12th, Joey Ladiseur, Brandon Alphin, neither of them got a win. Obviously, as these points play out here these next few weeks, we will see how those line up. So that's where we are right now in the points. We take a look at the schedule. Of course, tonight it is Eldora, as mentioned. And then from there, Indianapolis coming up here next week, New Hampshire, Dover for Halloween, and then Michigan. So 4 races after tonight left in the season when it comes to GLSR in the regular season as we continue on tonight. All right, so no hot laps, but do want to give a mention to Spicy Schemes. And a big shout out to Sammy B for what he does in helping out this series from the start, obviously, with he and Travis Icavacci introducing Great Lakes Sim Racing to us, all the way to what he does now with paint schemes and so much more. But right now, we get to do some racing because we're going straight into heat racing here on the Captain Esports Network in GLSR, and we take a look at the starting lineup as the cars are down there on the track right now. And we have 8 cars ready to go here in this race. Caleb Foss not going to be on the pole. Random grid, random pill draw. It's like old school dirt racing here. I guess they still do it today too. Jason Dalton on his outside. Blaine Sparling. Devin Ramsey has a little experience on dirt. He could be an interesting watch tonight. Sean Peach and Brandon Alphin. Alex Bryson and Chris Evans returns to that stage 60 car that has had about as much luck as somebody playing the lottery this season, as they will come to the green next time by. 15 heat laps. There are no cautions in these 15 laps, so look for the race to be over with pretty quickly as they will fly by, and hopefully we'll go by with no drama when it's all said and done here. All right, pace truck, I should say, gonna pull off as we get ready to go racing here at Eldora Heat Race number 1. Gonna see the green flag. As Tyler Dalton. There I am, wrong series already. Jason Dalton pulling away to a pretty good start. Blaine Sparling there in second. Already seeing a wreck as Devin Ramsey and Caleb Fosnot have gone around. And again, as I mentioned, no caution, so we stay at it here. As Dalton pulls away to an 0.8 of a second lead already over Blaine Sparling. Alex Bryson there in the 3rd position. Sean Peachin there in 4th as Fosnot looks like he's taking his car to the garage. And let's go to the battle here for 3rd as Bryson and Sean Peachin go at it here. Sorry, that's actually the... Wait, that is the 20... All right, Sean Peachin with the 21 truck for some reason here tonight. So Sean making a move there and at 21 as he will make the pass for 3rd. So getting him a little confused with Brandon Alphin apparently. Make sure I got the schemes up to date. I do, so we're good there. But anyways, the pass and then it's cross back over from Bryson as he works his way through 3 and 4 here. We're just going to do this a little bit old school way here. As 4 laps in the books. 1.2 seconds from Dalton back to Sparling. Sparling kind of reeling him in there after this lap. Oh, entangling Brandon Alphin and Sean Peachin. Never mind, there's Alphin right there in the outside lane. It's Chris Evans getting tangled up with Sean Peachin. Let's take a look at the two wrecks here so far as we complete 7 laps. Get the green flag, and what happens to Ramsey back here? Oh, he and Caleb get tangled up right there in turn 2, lap 1. Oh, and Alphin got involved in that also, so it was actually a 3-truck wreck. But then Alphin was able to make up for the lost time here when Sean Peachin had some issues, it looks like, as we're 8 laps complete and Dalton's still out front by 1.2 seconds. See if Peachin just loses the back end going. Oh, yeah, he hits that slick spot right there going to the turn 1 and loses it right in front of Evans, who goes around. we continue green, and I couldn't help but notice, does Evans have the... He's running the Scalicast truck. Okay, thanks, I guess. I kind of stopped the podcast like 8 months ago or so, something, I don't know, like 6 months ago, just saying. But hey, I appreciate the support. Dalton continuing to lead by 1.4 now. Bryson third, Peach and Alphin your top 5. As down the back straightaway, you're starting to see a little bit of a, like I said, a slick groove kind of forming, especially as they go into the corners here, which is going to make it very interesting. You wonder if that'll move these trucks down a little bit to the bottom, maybe. As up into the wall goes the 2 truck there. A little brush up there as he tries to get up there and climb the banking. 2 laps to go for Dalton as he tries to get this heat race win, which I believe would put him on the pole for this race, because usually the lineup is set with the first position being set from the inside lane of the heat race here. As the white flag for Dalton. As he's going to bring it through turn 3 and 4 and see the checkered flag right there in front of him. Jason Dalton will get heat race 1. Everybody pretty spread out here. Blaine Sparling will get 2nd, Bryson 3rd. Sean Peachin will finish in the 4th position, it looks like, holding off Brandon Alphin. Chris Evans, Devin Ramsey, Caleb Fosnot rounding out the top finishers in this race. All right, give me a second. I'm going to make a quick adjustment to something before we get started with the second heat race. As we look at the lineup here for this one, Sam Fontaine, pretty good dirt racer himself. They're going to start inside of Dylan Rosenberg. Stephen Miles been looking pretty good on the dirt here tonight so far in that 24 truck alongside Lucas Strayer. Brian Sutphin, Tyler Brewer, Brett Murphy will be the 7 drivers to run in this heat race. That'll start here momentarily. And we'll talk to Dalton here in a second, see what he thinks here as this race gets going. As these guys will do another 15 laps or so. The reason why you see me using the kind of like qualifying ticker or whatever I like to use for the heat races, because some reason I've never had success with the actual timing and scoring on SDK with heat races. I don't know what the deal is, but it is what it is. So we'll work through it. We appreciate SDK for their hard work. All right, let's bring in Mr. Dalton. As we check in with Jason here. Hey, man, congratulations on a heat race win.
Hey, thanks, man.
First off, how's the family? Obviously, power back yet? How we looking there in the Virginia area?
Yeah, I got some power back into civilization and doing pretty well for the moment.
That's a good thing, obviously. Well, let's talk a little bit about this race, because obviously the track's going to reset, and you kind of got to refresh your mind here a little bit, because when you go into turn 1, it's not going to be the same that you went into the heat race.
No, it'll definitely be a lot different. I'm not a great dirt track guy. I'm just fortunate that the whole field wrecked on lap 1. That's the reason I won that race. So, but no, I mean, I just try to keep all 4 corners on it and get it around on these dirt tracks. Is my main goal. So,
what do we expect in this second heat race here? You got a lot of good drivers here, especially your last 2 champions and a pretty good road racer here in Fontaine, or dirt racer, I should say.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Fontaine, I think Miles will give him a run for it. I don't know how good is Strayer. Pretty good at dirt.
We're going to find out, aren't we? I don't remember.
I don't remember either, but I feel like Miles and Fontaine will probably put on a pretty good show here.
We're going to see here. Well, hey, congratulations. Go get some water or whatever, and best of luck tonight.
Hey, man, appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Jason Dalton, the winner of heat race number 1. And let's see if his boys from KJD2 can go 2 for 2 here tonight as Fontaine leads. Stephen Miles there second, Dylan Rosenberg, Brian Sutphin, and then Lucas Strayer. And then Brent Murphy, who unfortunately has got some leaking issues. Tyler Brewer is not starting the race, unfortunately. He is, who knows what Tyler Brewer is doing right now. As side by side, Sutphin making the move on Rosenberg. And Brian making the pass as the 91 gets a little free in that Trackhouse 91 truck. Miles not letting Fontaine get away. Only about a half-second gap right now in that 24 truck. He's down there catfishing the bottom. Of course, Fontaine up there running the boards. This is what makes Eldora great with the 24 degrees of banking it has, is it allows to open up the different grooves that you can run out here on this track. And I think eventually the nighttime or the top side will be the way to go. But as I've learned a little bit here, as that track slickens up, it just seems like, and maybe it's the car in particular, the bottom does kind of come into play a little bit. So be anxious to see as we get into the feature, especially how much the night, or how much the top groove that I keep wanting to call the night groove apparently, comes in. As we come up halfway this time by, Fontaine by 1.2 as he's pulling away there. Miles running that Dry D number 24 paint scheme. A little bit of a different look there. Sutphin back here with third with Rosenberg, and then Lucas Strayer in the Grit spoiler diecast number 41 car or truck. And then Brett Murphy, who keeps having lag issues. Unfortunately having issues. Hey, if you get a chance, you're watching on the stream here tonight, make sure you share it with your friends and family. We are live here on the Captain eSports Network again on this Wednesday night here from Eldora. Looking forward to a good race here tonight. And there's a lot of things going on, from obviously the hurricane hitting Florida right now to other specific events and things like that. And we appreciate all those checking in and hanging out here on the Captain eSports Network with some of the drivers that are in chat watching right now, like Diego Sainz, the points leader. Not looking forward to this tonight. He's much forward to looking to watch the Astros in the oh wait, never mind, sore spot. And see Gagnon watching tonight. Should I make a comment about Josh and how long he lasts? Nah, I won't do that to him. I'm in a good mood tonight. We'll have fun. I'm tired, but we'll have fun. Coming to 3 to go. Blah. Miles 1.9, make it 2 seconds back as he starts to fall back now into the hands of Brian Sutphin, who's still got Rosenberg right there behind him, trying to get to him. Rosenberg trying to slide it up track, trying to get whatever grip he can get. Attaboy. Hey, you got their Texans. Y'all looking good now. As we come to the white flag, Sutphin with a little blink there. Fontaine. Going to lead flag to flag, and so far 2 for 2 it looks like for these KJD2 cars. Looking pretty solid here tonight as the 77 brings her off turn number 4, and he'll take the checkered. Miles will be second. And Sutphin going to be third, Dylan Rosenberg. And Lucas Strayer, your top 5, with Brett Murphy is going to blink his way across the line here and finish 6th. And Tyler Brewer, from what I'm understanding, has made an appearance over at Lima Land, which is not the right track. All right, this will take us to heat race number 3, and we got some good ones in this one. And see the shades starting to come into play here a little bit. As the lineup shows on the screen right now, Tyler Pluff, the pole sitter. Robert Lucan's going to start on his outside. Robert's had a few good runs here. Let's see if he can do it again tonight on the old clay. Matt Telder and Diego Sainz in row number 2. Josh Gagnon, Joey Ladisor, and Jacob Thornton, your 7 starters here. Ladisor, the winner last season of the Dirt Race's one and only career win in the Dirt Championship last season, presented by Mr. Radiator. Can he do it again tonight? Got the start from 6, so it's going to be fun to watch him come up here through the field. Of course, Telder is off to his best career start in the series. Running third, and obviously an ace here on the dirt himself. Should see another 15 laps, and we shall find out. See, 8-7. This should be the last heat race before we'll have a little last chance qualifier and get this main event started here momentarily. As Robert Lucan's running an old Ron Hornaday paint scheme from back in the heyday. As we go green, Tyler Pluff takes him to it. And right off the bat, Telder goes up, blows right on through. Josh Gagnon going to follow him through. And Ladisor is going to pass everybody pretty much all the way up to third. Tries to get second. Gagnon almost hits Telder. They get loose. Good save on everyone's part there. Top 3, all of a sudden, started 3rd, 5th, and 8th. That right there was the physical definition of the cream rises to the top. As Diego Sainz works his way past Tyler Pluff for 4th. Let's go talk to Mr. Fontaine as this race is starting, see what he has to say about the race here so far. As Gagnon going to slide on by and take the lead on Telder. As Fontaine joins us here, Sam, obviously a good start for the team here so far. He's led every lap so far until a lap ago, and Gagnon took the lead from Telder. But you guys have looked pretty good here on that KJD2 team.
Yeah, just trying to have fun with the guys. We are ready for it, as you can see on track, and Jason also had a really good first heat, so yeah.
So what we watching here with this battle, obviously Telder's trying to set up Gagnon. You know Telder really well. Obviously Gagnon pretty sporty on dirt, and then here's your fellow French-Canadian Joey Ladisor. I mean, this is 3 good ones on dirt here. Is this going to be a high line for Gagnon to protect and Telder to try and maybe throw a slider here? I pretty much just called what he's going to do.
Well, yep, pretty much what is happening right now. Mr. Telder trying to get the lead. Josh gonna get back. It's really hard to make a slider work because a guy in first base actually get the run the next time by. So we will see what happens next with Josh and Mr. Ladusser, but Joey is going to be more cautious.
Jacob Thornton is spun over in turn 1. They're coming up on him. How slick is it coming into the entry there, especially if you take the higher line into the corner?
You really have to be careful with that right front, with that front tires actually.
Oh, Joey.
Yep, yeah, they are getting close, firing pretty hard right there. For yeah, so it's a really good racing right there. 3 wide on the exit of turn 2.
Well, yeah, you talked about obviously very slick on entry there, and you can just see it. It looks like it's just opening up more and more. Is that going to allow that bottom lane to come into play and a little more catfishing, or is that really not going to make a difference with the banking?
I think it's gonna happen depending how the track is like off. If it gets more and more slick, the top line get trickier to race. So then you're gonna see the middle and bottom line start to work a little better. Me personally, I prefer the middle just because it's safer, because that top wall on entry is really tough to stay away from.
Well, hey, we appreciate your time. We'll let you go get ready here because you're gonna be starting in a couple minutes, and we're gonna watch this fierce battle for the lead here.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely. That is Sam Fontaine, of course, the winner of heat race number 2, as he's watching his 2 teammates here battle with Josh Gagnon for the lead as Telder's slowly starting to pull away here a little bit. Ladisor about 4/10 back. Gagnon has fallen back to about a second back as Telder ran the fastest lap of the race. I mean, by 4/10. I mean, he ran an 18-18, which is pretty sporty. As you ride with Ladisor, second position for him. as he tries to get up here with his teammate, trying to battle him. 2 laps to go. Gagnon looking pretty sporty there as he starts to fall up here a little bit. Maybe just got to work on that rhythm maybe a little bit, or tires. I mean, how much a roll they maybe come into play, not so sure, but Josh giving that 79 truck a pretty good ride. As Pluff is 4th, Diego Sainz 5th, Robert Lucan 6th, and you saw the spin with Jacob Thornton just a minute ago is Ladisor trying to get to his buddy Telder here. As the one truck brings her down the back straightaway to 40, Racewear. Number 1 decides to go down to the bottom lane here, and that's the thing, it's more of a defensive move on Ladisor. Maybe worried about Ladisor throwing a haymaker in there, but Telder holds him off and wins the 3rd heat races. Ladisor throws a purple up in lap number, on the final lap of the race there, finishing 2nd, Gagnon 3rd. And Pluff, Sainz, and Lukens will be the 4th, 5th, and 6th place finishers in the heat race here, as we will now have a consolation race. And this one will be 20 laps long, as you can see up there at the top before we get to the main event. And we'll show the lineup here. And these are all guys pretty much who finished from 5th on back in the heat races. As Brandon Alphin and Lucas Strayer will be on the front row. Diego Sainz, Chris Evans. Row 2, row 3, Brett Murphy, Robert Lukens, Devin Ramsey, Tyler Brewer, Jacob Thornton, and Caleb Fosnot going to be the 9th and 10th place finishers. Or starters, I should say, in this race as those guys roll off. And Telder's name, for some reason, is now stuck on my screen. That's a good feeling. And let's bring the Michigan driver in, as he's made it 3 for 3 in the heat races here tonight for KJD2. As just a fresh reminder here for you, Matt, that was not your first career win. As he has probably ran away. He might, this possibly could be the first time Telder's actually doing a victory lap around his house, even though it was only a 15-lap heat race. We're just going to keep him right up here, and he's going to come in and say something, and he's not realizing he's right in the channel with me. As Alphin brings him to the green flag with Lucas Strayer, Diego Sainz, Chris Evans, your top 4 is the mirrors are getting a little foggy out here all of a sudden. As Alpha with a pretty good jump. As Sainz going to try to paint the bottom there, gets to the inside of Strayer in that 41 car. The 60 already getting the outside wall. Oh, and around goes the blinking 64, Brett Murphy. And looks like Robert Lukens and Jacob Thornton get involved in that, but unfortunately Murphy having some blinking issues there. Yeah, contributed there just a little bit. As we will stay green here. 2 laps complete, Alphin already a half second up. Diego Sainz there second, Lucas Strayer. These guys getting some much needed laps in. Here comes Devin Ramsey, who was involved in that lap 1 accident in his heat race. That's why he had to start in a concierge. Throws a little slider on Lucas Strayer. And the driver of the 9 car out of Terre Haute, Indiana, which, oh, by the way, there's a racetrack there too. He's definitely got some laps on dirt, and he's looking pretty good here so far.
Be interested to see if he can catch Alpha before the end of the race here.
Yeah, we'll see as Telder returns from smoking a dart. Just a reminder.
How do you go grab a bottle of water?
Is that what you call it now?
Yeah, I'm drinking a bottle of water.
Please. Anyway, is this a reminder, by the way, this was not your first career win?
No.
Just throwing it out in case you were curious and went for a victory lap around the house.
Hey, I gotta take them where I can get them, right?
Hey, talk about the battle with Ladisor. That was obviously a little a pretty fun one. Even Josh in there trying to throw some haymakers at you.
Yeah, Josh and his partially clear off turn 4 slider.
Almost a slider gone wrong, if you will.
Yeah. But yeah, I noticed like once I got around him or cleared him, and then Joey got around him, I noticed 3 and 4 Joey was gaining on the bottom, so I could gap him on the top, and he was gapping me on the bottom in 3 and 4. So basically, just switch up the line, run low line 3 and 4, run high line 1 and 2. So the way the current track state, that seemed to be the go-to. I set the fastest lap of the race doing that, like 12 laps into it. So.
Well, the problem is he got you on the final lap for the purple.
Oh, did he?
Oh, yeah, he ran a 16, and I was like, man, he made a real, like, I thought he was sending it in there on you, and you made that defensive move, and I'm like, and oh, by the way, Devin's caught Brandon.
I see that. Be interesting to see if he clears him here, though. It's one thing to get alongside of him, but the run off the top side is, ooh, Alvin put it in the wall.
Oh, Devin's going to throw one here in a second. Just get ready. I mean,
he needs to be pretty much alongside coming out of the corner to,
right.
I think, even have a shot at one.
Like, talk about the track slickening up, though, because the one thing Sam talked about is how tricky it is on entry. We see how pretty much about the 3/4 mark is about where you see a little bit more tacky. Well, now I've seen a little more slickness now out of the corners as Devin got him clean. But
yeah,
for a little bit,
you have to throw the slider.
Yeah, it seemed like for a little bit, though, the track slickened up, and then once you got to the 3/4 mark, it was still a little tacky, but now it's slickened up the whole way.
Yeah, it's the entry slick is very, very deceiving, especially the one going into turn 3 on entry. If you don't have it set, the nose set down before you get in that slick, the front end washes. It's very, very deceiving. And like you're like, oh, it's just gonna slide sideways here. No, it doesn't. It for some reason catches the right rear and pulls the nose towards the wall. So you got to really like almost yaw the thing in there on 3 and 4.
Now the secret, well, the question I guess is how would you do that? Because obviously you're turning right to turn left, but you almost have to kind of tap the brake to get the nose planted.
Yeah, so you can take what's one way to do it. You can as you go to throw, like basically like jerk the wheel 90 degrees to the left, and then when you do that, just quick stab 10% of the stab of the brakes, and it'll throw the nose on the ground sideways. Like, I'm running a brake bias much farther forward specifically for that purpose, to pull the nose around. If I ever have to actually hit the brakes, I'm going around for sure. Like, I'm not going to be able to save it.
Caution's out. Not really. I'm talking about for you. But no.
Yeah, pretty much. No, yeah, it's iRacing's new physics. There's actually like a legitimate berm up there against the wall now.
Nice.
Which will grab you, which is why it appears to have a lot more grip through like the 3/4 of the exit mark.
Which means we have a cushion. I like that.
Yeah, there's a legitimate cushion up there, and there will be a massive cushion by the end of the race. Like it'll probably be halfway up the wall.
Brandon's already flattening it out. It looks like they're through 3 and 4. Well, we'll leave it alone here. Best of luck, obviously, as you get ready to go run the main event, and all the best. And maybe we'll talk here later.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah, we'll see. As Telder made it 3 for 3 for the KGD2 cars, and the only reason he's not going to make it 4 for 4 is because, well, there's no KGD2 cars in this race as Devin Ramsey leads in the 9 car as he will come around turn 4 to the white flag. Six cars in the lead lap. Brewer actually running this race. Brandon Alphin second, Diego Sainz, Lucas Strayer, Chris Evans. As he'll come up on the 42 of Jacob Thornton. Devin Ramsey going to bring it off turn 4 and get himself a consolation win. Sure, that's not what he exactly wanted tonight, but he's going to get that. Brandon Alphin going to get second. Diego Sainz probably excited to finish third, I would say, in this race. Lucas Strayer and him and Evans crash. I think they've already finished though. Somebody forgot to tell somebody car outside or inside there. But Ramsey with the win here in the last chance qualifiers. We're going to get a little chance to warm up, and let's show you the results from all the racing here. The heat races, starting with heat race number 1. Of course, Dalton, Sparling, Bryson, Peach, and Alphin, Evans, Ramsey, and Caleb Fosnot. which led to heat race number 2. And Fontaine, Miles, Sutphin, Rosenberg, those top 4. And then the 3 that ran the Consi just now, Lucas Strayer, Brett Murphy, and Tyler Brewer. Heat race number 3. You saw Matt Telder win that one over Lana Soar. Josh Gagnon 3rd, Tyler Pluff. Those 4 advanced, and then, of course, Signs, Lukens, and Thornton. Heat race number 4 was nobody. It was actually the consolation race. We skipped 4, 5, and 6. And you see Ramsey holding off Alphin and Signs in the top 3 as you see the rest of the field. All right, before we get to the main event coming up here momentarily, let's go trackside for the playing of our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
All right, trucks out here running warm-up laps as they get ready to go here in the Great Lakes Dirt Championship race. And the feature coming up 100 laps here in just a moment. Let's talk to Devin Ramsey, who led a Laser Racing 1-2 just a few moments ago, and let's see what he is thinking here. Obviously, Devin, you get the best luck in the world there on lap 1 of the heat race, but you got it to work out for you. Made some great moves there. Going to victory lane in the consolation race, but the problem is now you got to start towards the back. So how do you work your way through? Now you got a little bit of a fresher track to work your way through, and got to pass a lot more cars or trucks.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to dig myself out of a hole here and just be patient. Gonna be a lot of mistakes. See where we end up.
Feel pretty good to get a win there.
We're gonna be win maybe. We're starting 13th, it looks like, so terrible. There's a shot.
Hey, as they say in the old great Dumb and Dumber movie, so you're saying there's a chance.
Of course.
Absolutely, man. Hey, best of luck.
Thank you.
Devin Ramsey getting ready to go from the 13th position. As you see the starting lineup up there on the screen for the Dirt Championships here. Jason Dalton, Sam Fontaine. As you see, it's lined up. First heat race, second heat race, third heat race, as Telder will start there in the 3rd position. Then the guys who finish 2nd, Lane Sparling, Stephen Miles, Joey Ladasor, as you get the trend of the positions here. Alex Bryson, Brian Sutphin, Josh Gagnon there in row 7th, 8th, and 9th. And then row 5, Sean Peachin there on the outside. Row number 6 is where you'll see Dylan Rosenberg and Tyler Pluff. Then Devin Ramsey, Brandon Alphin. Diego Sainz, Lucas Strayer, row 8, row 9, Chris Evans, Tyler Brewer, Brett Murphy, Jacob Thornton in row 10, row 11, Robert Lukens, and Caleb Fosnot. The 22 cars rolling out. And the race information, this half-mile track that originally was a quarter-mile track, but to make USAC regulations back in its heyday, they had to extend the track to a half-mile when Earl Baltus owned the track before selling it to Tony Stewart. And that's what we got here. Half-mile oval, 100 laps, 24 degrees of banking on this track, and 67 degrees. 100% humidity. That's why you're seeing the haze. It is a little foggy at Eldora here in the town of Rossburg, which, believe it or not, is actually only 90 minutes down the road from me here in Fort Wayne. You got Lima Lands right down the road also. Some great dirt racing around the Indiana and Ohio areas. Pace truck going to pull off as Dalton leads his teammate Fontaine. It's a 1-2-3 KJD2 front row as the Dirt Championship begins. Our cameras presented by TrackCams22.com. You can check them out online on Facebook and the iRacing forums at TrackCams22.com. Cautions are on for those keeping note. Is already seeing some 3 and 4 wide as trucks try to find some clean air to work with as Dalton will lead lap 1, Telder second, and Fontaine third. And Telder's going to want the lead here. That one truck not playing games here tonight. He feels pretty good about it. Ooh, he gets a little free there, and that allows Dalton to get the run there on the top side. Fontaine right there behind him in third. Miles up the fourth, and Devin Ramsey did not feel... He was either playing head games with me or not feeling good about it, but this truck is rolling from 13th, going for 5th now on his teammate Miles. Appreciate the viewers hanging out here tonight. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. And if you're coming back for another time of watching some great racing, we appreciate you doing so. Alex Bryson back there a little free as he tries to get around Dylan Rosenberg. And Blaine Sparling for position. There's the 21 of Sean Peachin with the other 21 of Brandon Alphin. These cars all over the place here to start. Look at, oh, who's that throwing up some... I have no clue what the heck that was. Saw some smoke of some kind there. Not sure if that was part of somebody blinking or what the deal that was. Fontaine has moved up to the second position as Devin continues to make his move. He's inside of Joey Ladisor right now. Has made the pass on him and is up to fourth now. Looking at caution is out for the first time here. He got to lap 8 before Brian Sutphin goes around and brings out the first yellow here. See what happens. Brian having a little blinking issue here. It's the hardest thing to figure out about a truck like this if you're not used to running it. And so it looks like I can see it already. Yep, Thornton got loose and spins down into Brian. But one thing I saw Brian having some issues with is sometimes you get that truck to overturn a little bit and then it wants to hang a left or hang a right as you're trying to straighten it back out, and then it can overcorrect into the wall, and you always got to be careful of that. Again, a reminder, we are trying to raise some money and help out the American Red Cross with Hurricane Helene victims and now Hurricane Milton victims. And if you get an opportunity to, we request, please do help us out. And down in the information page for the broadcast, you can, of course, donate that way and help out the American Red Cross. As caution laps are on. Get ready to get the green flag here at lap number 10 as Telder fires off. In one night, return of the Truck Series here at Eldora, and next week we'll go to Indianapolis and back in the Premier Series car that we're used to, as it looked like Tyler Brewer back there on the outside wall as they're 3 and 4 wide through here. Look at this. Everybody from bottom to top just trying to find whatever groove they can to make moves as Brandon Alphin and his teammate Alex Bryson topside there. His other teammate Miles in front of him. See Dalton racing with Lana Soar. Josh Gagnon up there right now in the 6th position in that 79 car. And the one thing about this track, the more trucks you see on it, obviously, the more repetitions on it, the more it is going to slicken up really quickly. As up in the wall goes Alphin now. And you're going to get a lot of that kind of stuff here tonight, unfortunately. This track's going to get slick. It's going to get tough. Truck's going to plow to the right and unfortunately knock the wall down. Very easy to do here. As we ride with Lana Soar, and you see the battle for second as Ramsey trying to get around Fontaine. Ramsey having a career night, already up to second after winning that last chance, and you wonder, was he not as confident in his truck as we might thought he would be? He's definitely showing he's got the speed here tonight. Back here, 3 wide with Tyler Pluff, Dylan Rosenberg, Lucas Strayer. Again, these guys tonight will not have to worry about pit stops at all unless they're damaged. They'll finish on the same tires that they started with. It's all about going out here and having some fun and racing on dirt one time a season. You might ask, who are the guys to watch here on the dirt? Well, I kind of hinted you a little bit. Joey Lana Soar, of course, has made 1 start in the Premier Series on dirt. He won that race. Alex Cummings, who's not here, unfortunately, he's been, a little contact here, 91 and 39. Everybody saves it so far. And we stay green at lap 19. As here comes the 59, going to go up top and make the pass. But Matt Telder, of course, 2 starts in this race. And unfortunately, an average finish of 21, but he has an average running position of 2.9. That tells you how good that one truck is going to be on dirt. And then Sam Fontaine right there with him, an average finish of 8.5, but an average running of 3.7. Some pretty good numbers right there. Brandon Alphin, average running position at 8.2 and an average finish himself of 11th. So it's some great dirt racers here, know how to get to the finish, but then obviously get to the end of the race and it gets a little western, as they like to say, and things can happen. As we ride on board with Telder. As up the track goes Fontaine, he and Ramsey putting a fight on right now for second. Fontaine kissing that outside wall. You can see the dirt kind of developing on the wall. That's what Taylor was talking about earlier. You're starting to see the forming of a cushion, is what they call that in dirt racing. Is around. Is Tyler Brewer, Robert Lukens involved? And the second caution to lap 23. Let's see what happened to the Brewman. Pro Sim West, number 40. You see Sparling in the 59 getting a little free there. Sean Peachin back there struggling a little bit. And there's Brewer with that little overcorrection issue I talked about. Right in the Lukens, and Chris Evans gets damaged. You get too much throttle and you're turning the wheel too much. And think of it like a spin. You go to turn the wheel too much, then the front end grips and it reconnects back to the right. And that's exactly what happened to Tyler Brewer there to bring up the second caution here of this Dirt Championship here, presented by Mr. Radiator. And for those just joining us here tonight, let's get you a look real quickly at the point standings as we entered the race here tonight, as you might not have gotten on before the heat races started. Of course, Diego Sainz leading by 1 over Sam Fontaine. Miles right there in third. Alex Bryson, Matt Telder. Again, this season, the first of the non-win and get in. So it is now straight up the most points in the top 10 will get into the playoffs. And then, of course, 2 wild card drivers will get in after the 10 races. Which, by the way, after tonight, 4 races left in the regular season already. It's like we just started last week. A reminder, go check out the Captain Esports Network shop if you haven't already for some t-shirts or mugs and hats and so much more that you can choose from there. Click the link down below to access the Captain Esports Network shop, or you can actually go into the Captain Esports Discord page and there's access there too. But we appreciate everybody who's went out and bought some new shirts and stuff like that to support the Captain Esports Network. As we go back green, Ramsey catfishing it down on the bottom there, looking to slide up here with Fontaine. Here comes Joey Ladasor, last season's winner. As that 23 starts to come into play, Miles, Gagnon, all these guys in the battle now. This truck looks really good out here on dirt. A lot of grip, it looks like, in it. As you heard Teller talk about when we talked to him, Fontaine said the same thing. These guys looking pretty sporty. You definitely see the confidence in a lot of these drivers. Of course, you've had a heat race. Some of them have had a consolation race and in practice also. And of course, during those few laps, you can easily get yourself into a confident groove. And often that's Strada Italiano paint scheme. As Ramsey tries to hold off Ladasor down for the third position. Joey about the middle groove right now. Still seeing plenty of grip there in that top side. Oh, Ramsey got the wall. That's going to mess him up. Ladasor's going to get a good run into the corner. See if he slides her up there and takes the spot. He does. Ramsey's going to try to stuff it in there. Excuse me, son. Woo. Joey probably not going to be too thrilled with that move, but Ramsey said, excuse me, I'm coming through. The Ramsey Express for position. Devin said, I've run hard to get up here. He ain't taking it from me that easy. As caution back out for the third time. And not sure where this one's at. It might be Caleb Fosson trying to get the pit road. It might be the one-time race at Eldora trying to get the pit road caution. Let's see what we can find a caution here. Oh, there's actually, I think, a reverse caution here. Caleb, oh no, right, did Ladasor spin? No, he didn't trigger, I don't think, yeah. I think the caution was for Caleb coming off pit road. It was like the opposite of what happens normally. A caution at lap 33. Let's, back to this little deal here. Ladasor gets a little loose here, and Ramsey throws her in there. And that was after the contact. There's back it up a little more. It starts right here, I think. That's right there. Ramsey gets the wall. Ladasor is going to make the move here. He's going to start to slide his way up here, and Ramsey decides to fit a square in a circle here. Excuse me. Able to complete the pass here as he just runs the boards and goes right on by for position. So good racing there from those two. You see the 40 Racewear truck up there in the front, also there in the third position. Gives me an opportunity to say that, hey, check out 40racewear.com for your gloves and shoes to help enhance your iRacing performance. Of course, both of them probably have their racewear on now, and you can too. Back on to 40racewear.com. As we go back green, that's Brandon Alford now slipping into the top 5. Miles right there with him as AB slaps the wall. Ladasor almost getting in the back of his fellow French Canadian. these trucks definitely showing a lot of grip. Oh, some beating and banging towards the back, and Jacob Thornton has gone around with Brian Sutphin. No caution yet. Sutphin is towed. Let's see what Thornton does. And he tows before the cars get back to them. So we stay green. As Ramsey is officially cleared for second. Is officially gloves out. As Ramsey tries to go get Telder for the win. Or at least to lead his race. Telder gets a little free off of turn 4. Allows the 9 to get closer. Here comes Fontaine with him also. You're seeing this group of guys, all of them running real close together. This is fantastic. As Ladouceur maybe starting to fall back a little bit there. Zalpin to his outside. As finally Brandon does clear him. Right behind them, Stephen Miles in the 24. Let's see how the Georgia drivers do it as we ride with him. Miles is coming off of a championship win in another series this past Saturday night. Congratulations to him on that. All those dirt and rocks slinging around here. As Gagnon tries to get around the 24 there. As back up here, Ladouceur and Alphin. Battle out. Fontaine now getting below the 9. It's great racing all over the track here. A little bit spread out between 10th and 12th, 13th, and then you get these guys back together again, back at Tyler Pluff and the 59 of Blaine Sparling. You see, unfortunately, the other 21, having some issues of Sean Peachin. Rosenberg has fallen all the way back to the 15th position, so the 91, unfortunately, a little bit of a struggle bus. The 60 of Chris Evans back there, and caution going to come back out. And it looks like it's Alex Bryson, unfortunately, the Wrangler truck. Right before the halfway break here. With Diego Sainz here for position. Waiting to see if Diego comes in the picture here, and unfortunately a tangle. Or does Bryson just bring it around, or slides up there? Oh, he just brings it around, slides up right in front of the 44. Great job by everybody not to get involved in that. As we come to the green flag right before the halfway point. As Telders led him pretty much all from the start here. And I believe if he can lead this next lap, the halfway point, he'll get a bonus point for leading at the halfway point in this race. That'd be pretty big. Let's see if anybody tries a little Hail Mary move here. Is Ramsey going to try the middle side as Telder kind of clipped the wall there a little bit, come out of the corner. Good run from Ramsey. Fontaine right there, and Alphin also. Can anyone slide up on Telder, or will he lead it halfway? He sure will. There's 50 laps in the books, 50 laps to go. GLSR Premier Series Dirt Championships presented by Mr. Radiator. You're seeing the 2 and 3 wide racing. Before we head off to Indianapolis next week in the Brickyard, be the first time in multiple seasons that the Brickyard is not the final race before the championship race in the playoffs. You wonder if people have a different approach to it. I know it's kind of tricky when you're trying to get yourself into a championship 4 like they had previous seasons and not really focus on, hey, it's Indianapolis. Now this season it'll be just a straight up Indianapolis race, so you wonder how much more again, prestige or whatever will be put into the race without the stipulation, if you will. As Strayer up there against the outside wall in trouble a little bit as Miles falling back as Dalton gets to his inside. As Diego Sainz made the pass, Josh Gagnon made the pass, and here comes Peachin, who almost gets into the 24, saves it. As they come off turn 4, 55 laps in the books. Telder up by 0.3 of a second over Fontaine and Ramsey. Joey Ladouceur under attack from Brandon Alphin. These two have been fighting throughout the night. Well, here's some argy-bargy going on back here. Bryson and Bluff. There's Strayer and Peachin. Running around this track in about 19 seconds. Pace looking really good. And you're starting to notice some of these trucks maybe moving off that top groove as it starts to kind of slicking up a little bit. You're seeing the faster trucks still running up there. I think that might be more of a comfort move. You get a lot of these guys who aren't notables of running on dirt. Now that slickness can make it very uncomfortable and make the truck very free, as you see there. There's some contact with Bryson, and Peachin gets down into Pluff, and we got a little bit of a big wreck here. Blaine Sparling involved. And caution out again. Oh, I think Peachin's truck might be, unfortunately, junk. Let's see what happens. Let's actually go to the right caution. Here we go. I was just talking about that slickening. It can make your truck very free through the corner. Especially if you put that right rear in the slickness. Unfortunately here, it just looks like Alex kind of slid up into Sean. And damage, it looks like, also to the 59. Saw the Tyler Pluff 39 car get some damage, and then maybe some to Dylan Rosenberg. Now, they can go on pit road, they'll get damage fixed. It does not mean you will take tires. You have the same tires for the whole entire race. Let's see if we get one more view of this. Bring out the, was it, 4th caution of the race. Very entertaining here so far. Hopefully you've enjoyed the race. If you enjoyed the broadcast, again, hit that subscribe button and be a part of the Captain eSports Network. Always get the subscription or the notifications when we go live. Of course, tomorrow night we'll be live for some Thursday night Gen 4 racing. All right, getting ready to go back to green. Caution laps on dirt are always quick. And that'll be the Kansas Speedway, by the way, tomorrow night for Gen 4 racing as we go back green. Fontaine in the inside lane, but Telder has led them all so far. Ramsey again trying that middle groove. A lot of sore right there in this battle. So is Sam Fontaine. So is Brandon Alphin. So is Josh Gagnon. All these trucks under a blanket. Up here, 3 wide for second. As Ladasor going to climb the boards and make the pass on both Fontaine and Ramsey. Here comes last season's winner. Of course, last year's race wasn't the B car. Some people talked about it, and apparently there was a vote made where these guys decided to swap it back to the trucks for one night only. Obviously, some people agree, some people didn't agree. And here we are, racing hard in the trucks again. Just like the good old days at Eldora. 64 gets a little bit loose there as Miles tries to get around Diego Sainz now for the 8th position. Up here for third. These two have been fighting all night long. Fontaine and Ramsey. And up there on the top side, and right behind him is the 21 of Brandon Alphin, who's gained 8 spots here tonight. Ramsey up 9, Alphin up 8, Sainz up 8, Strayer up 6, Evans up 7, Murphy up 6. A lot of big gainers from the back towards the front. Field settles down, and getting a little boost of 10 to 15 lap runs throughout the night. And thankfully, because of that, we're definitely on pace for more than or less than 16 cautions like we had last season. Strayer 11th position, kind of off the pace a little bit there. I just had a bad run off the corner. There's your top 5 trucks as they come up on the lap truck of Tyler Brewer. So right there in the tire tracks of the one truck. Let's look back here at the 6th and 7th and 8th positions, because these guys starting to go to a little bit of a battle. Brandon Alphin, teammate Stephen Miles, and the 44 Diego Sainz. Diego, the one who might not be so used to running dirt compared to these other guys, but out there fighting hard in the top 10, 7th position, as he tries to hold off Miles. You got this battle here, then you got a battle back here at Dylan Rosenberg and Tyler Pluff. As we'll come to 24 laps to go this time by. Really seeing the track slicking off as I thought I might. I mean, I see it a little bit from the outside, but it's just not as distinct as you usually see it. And you see the blackness right there and a little bit of a worn out groove. See a little bit there on the bottom side. And when it gets to being like this is where you gotta go find that fresh dirt, wherever it can be. If it's up against the wall, if it's catfishing on the bottom, if it's right there in the middle where Bryson runs. These guys going to battle here. 3 wide for position. Bryson and Pluff battle with each other. Contact with each other. Rosenberg also there with them as they clear the 39, and now they try to settle it out themselves. Meanwhile, the Miles and Sainz battles calm down for a second, and we might have ourselves a battle for the lead here momentarily. As still hitting each other's Rosenberg and Bryson. Good stuff here. 21 to go. That lead starting to open up just a little bit between first and second. And thank you, viewers, for hanging out here tonight in the Captain eSports Network. As you watch GLSR Premier Series Racing presented by Mr. Radiator. Here in the Mr. Radiator Great Lakes Dirt Classic. There's your leader. He's led every lap of the main event here so far this evening. I'd have to go back and look at the history books. I believe Alex Cummings led every lap in a race on dirt at Eldora, if I remember correctly. I know how he won the first one here. That was on a last lap pass. And that next year, I believe we came back and he led pretty much every lap of the race, if not all of them. So Elder looking to do that feat again, and if he can do it, it'd be his first career win after numerous ties of trying to go to victory lane, numerous frustrations, as Ladasur might have caught the outside wall there. Of course, some issues with some drivers and some issues with admin calls and things like that. Unfortunately, Telder took a little break from the series last season. And funny story here. Actually trying to run some Road for Pro back at the beginning of the season. And I actually helped him spotting and stuff like that, trying to help the man get better. And I've always said to him that if you could ever get the racecraft and get away from the issues on the track, you can be a good driver. And finally, I think you're starting to see him believe that in this one truck, as he's had his best season, 5th in points. And now he's got to try to hold off Ladasur for the win in this race if he's going to want that first career win. As up in the wall hard is Fontaine in the 77. He and Ladasur kind of got the wall there. And one of the to finish off the Telder story, the one thing I kept saying to him is, you get into trouble because you're putting yourself in bad spots. If you go out there and you be patient, let the race come to you, you'll work your way up, and then you can go fight for the lead. But instead, you're out there running 3 wide for 20th on lap 2, and you get wadded up because you're in 20th and things like that. He's done a good job of that. So he and Ladasur look like they're going to be in for a good battle there, as Ladasur kind of threw a slider on himself there. 10 laps to go in this race, 0.4 of a second. Everybody kind of spread out amongst the most part here. 0.3 of a second from Miles back to Alphen. Definitely impressed with the dirt model here. You're starting to see the cake dirt on the nose. Didn't used to see that too much. Of course, the dirt across the outside part of the wall down there towards the ground, obviously allowing to create a cushion as caution comes out. Tyler Brewer with issues, and he has jumped the pit road. But Tyler Brewer doing his best just to stay out of the way here. I can't help but wonder, the dad duty caller, something happened. Or, oh, you know what he did? He tried to come to pit road. Flip the inside wall. Is he going to try to hang a left right here? Very tough move. Oh, yeah. There's the Eldora move right there. Try to go to pit road. Never works. Boy, Telder probably did not want to see that caution. Does Ladasur have anything for him? Devin Ramsey there in 3rd. Sam Fontaine 4th. Josh Gagnon Diego Sainz, Stephen Miles, Brandon Alfin, Lucas Strayer, Jason Dalton, your top 10 as Lukens gets a wave around. And I think this might be the point of the race where you start seeing the haymakers get thrown, the slide jobs come into play, and the contact. You see Fontaine, a couple others trying to find that fresh dirt, cool the tires down just a little bit. Here we go, 5 laps to go. Who wins the Season 4 edition of the Great Lakes Dirt Championships as Teller gets a good restart on the bottom. Fontaine to the bottom, trying to make a move. And around goes Fontaine with a spin. Final that one into things you don't see often. He and Chris Evans, unfortunately, spinning out on the back straightaway. Did he have help is the million-dollar question here. No, he lost it on his own. Wow. Fortunately, got behind in the steering, and the 77 goes around. That right there, a rare mistake from Fontaine, and going to be big in the points. So we're coming to the traditional 2 to go right here. Pace car lights are still on. Lucan's going to get another wave around, and he will be now all of 12 laps down. We will see overtime here in this dirt championship. See what line Telder takes here this time. Looks like he's going to the high side this time. And Diego Sainz all of a sudden shows up in the 4th position here. Mr. Oh, I suck at dirt. Running 4th now. And let's see. Ladisor leans on the 1 a little bit as they go back green, 2 to go. As we go to overtime. Ladisor trying to get him on the bottom. Lost all the momentum there, gets into Sainz, into the wall he goes, and Teller gets away. Here comes Ramsey now. As they bring it off of turn 4, final lap at Eldora. 0.3 of a second for Teller. Ramsey trying everything he can, losing the back end and more, and he's going to almost spin the car and finally does go around. Matt Teller will finally go to victory lane as the field wrecks off of turn 4. And he goes flag to flag for a second time this season. Somebody wins it from the pole and leads every lap. Except Teller didn't start on the pole. That would be the one difference here. But Gagnon finishing 2nd. Bryson ends up 3rd. Lucas Strayer, Brandon Alfin, your top 5. After mayhem on the last lap, let's go look at that. That just shook up this field. Gets in the outside wall, and he's just trying to hold on to the truck. Enters at a bad angle, and he and Ladisor get in the wall, and everybody tangles. As everybody tries to get to the start-finish lines, get you a better view of this. kisses the outside wall. He's trying to hold on to her here and just overcorrects it and takes Lanasur with him. Had signs, and Gagnon gets the outside wall, and that straightens him out to the finish as everybody wrecks. And Bryson ends up outrunning Strayer by inches. And as for Telder, the road to redemption completes itself here tonight. They always say that first one's the hardest one to get. And tonight he does it on what could be easily his probably most comforting type of surface, the dirt. So you know he's going to be pretty excited about that. And let's take a look at the final results here. From the Dirt Championships. That is the heat race. There we go. Telder wins it over Gagnon, who finishes in the second position. Alex Bryson, as I mentioned, finishing in the third spot. Lucas Strayer fourth, Brandon Alphin fifth. Stephen Miles finishing sixth, Sam Fontaine seventh. Brett Murphy finishes eighth after having all types of connection issues tonight. Might have almost had to go to the captain's store and get himself a blinker fluid shirt. Jason Dalton 9th, Blaine Sparling 10th, Tyler Pluff 11th, Devin Ramsey ends up 12th, he and Lanasur 12th and 13th, Diego Sainz 14th, and Chris Evans finishes in the 15th position in what I believe is the first time the Stage 60 car finished a race this season. Dylan Rosenberg 16th, Robert Lukens, Sean Peachin, Tyler Brewer, Caleb Fosnot, Jacob Thornton, Brian Sutphin all had issues here tonight in this race as we go downstairs and talk to our top three finishers. And we'll start with the driver to 38. And a few minutes ago, you would have said, hey, Alex finishes top three. You would have probably said, dude, you cray-cray. That would be his words to me. If I asked you, dude, you would have finished third tonight?
No, honestly.
No.
I honestly thought I was going to finish like 12th. I mean, you see me cause a wreck, end up in a wreck, and to finish third? Yeah.
How Dale of you.
How Dale of me, right?
Oh, man. Talk about the racing. I mean, it looked like a lot of fun with that truck.
It is. I'm just not a dirt racer. I'm sure 75% of these people in this lobby tonight are definitely dirt racers or come from a dirt background or some type of racing background, so kudos to them. I'm someone who I at least love going to dirt tracks to watch dirt track racing, but when it comes to being a driver, put me on asphalt and I'm probably just as equally terrible. But yeah, I honestly don't even know what to say, so I'm trying to think as hopefully you speak.
Well, obviously, as you're, battling with Peach in there, you get in that little spin, and then talk about what you saw right there in front of you as these guys pretty much wadded up coming off turn 4, or going into 3. I guess.
Saw the car go low into 3, unload itself and come back up the track. Just kind of, was going to drive it in deep, was going to give old Al Pacino the door there at the end. Was kind of squeeze us all together like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich to see what we could do, kind of laugh about it afterwards. But yeah, it kind of just happened right in front of me, and I'm watching it now as we speak too, and just prayed and put my foot to the pedal, and just happened to be wedged between what looks to be Joey and Alphin there, and I had Strayer behind me, so we kind of like pushed each other through it. So I thought about going high there in the 3, but I was like I said, I just wanted to drive it in deep, and where whatever happened, happened, and I'll take third. I didn't think I even finished third until I looked up about halfway through too, and I was doing stringer. I'm like, oh my god, I finished third.
Well, great job tonight. Congratulations, and send some shouts whoever you like to.
I got to shout out Laser Racing, my teammates, Brandon Alfin, Steven Miles, Devin Ramsey, Christine. Got to thank my wife and kids, especially my wife. Let me take time out of our busy lives to do this. Got to thank my dad. He goes to this dirt track quite often. It's probably about 2.5 hours away from where I grew up, so he usually goes there a couple times a year to watch racing here at Eldora. Got to thank my wife's grandmother. Already thank my dad. Already thank Laser Racing. Can't thank them enough for believing in me and putting me in their vehicles every Wednesday night. And I gotta thank you for putting on these amazing broadcasts, and I can't wait to go back and watch myself wreck and watch the ending of this race.
Well, great job tonight, man. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Alex Bryson, third place finish for him here tonight. And for Josh Gagnon, his best finish since his win at Talladega 2 seasons ago, as he finishes in the second position tonight, as pretty much all the cards worked out for him to get this finish. Unfortunately involved in that melee on the last lap of the race, and the wall kept him straight and got him back to the start finish line here second. But you did run up there, to all credit, in the top 10 all throughout the night, and had a great run finishing here in second.
Hi Scala, thank you. Yeah, I don't think I should be sitting here right now, honestly. I definitely don't deserve it. I had a top 5 car, but not a podium car. I don't even know how I made it through that wreck. I just foot to the floor and hope for the best, I guess.
Sometimes luck goes your way, as they say, but you've had a little bit of a rough start, and I know I've even poked at you a little bit and having fun with it, but obviously
Wait, is this the first race I finished?
It might actually be. For you and
That's
your
hilarious.
Stage 60 car.
I am aware of that
finished.
stat, yes.
Yeah. So, congratulations. You
Thank you.
finished a race, which must feel pretty good, and to be able to stay up this late.
That was the one goal, really, was just to finish. Maybe like a top 10, maybe a top 5.
Mhm.
But hey, here we are on the podium. I'll take it. No
Yeah.
complaints.
No, you earned it, and you ran up there up front all night. And just talk about the racing, because you guys had a fierce battle throughout the night. Every restart, it was almost like 3 deep, multiple rows. Even in the heat race, you and Telder throwing haymakers at each other and having a little fun there.
No, the heat race was a lot of fun, and that going into the heat race, I feel like you can have some fun. But when we got into the feature, I was thoroughly surprised at how aggressive everybody was racing early on, and I just I was like, screw it, I'm gonna do it too, and it was a lot of fun. I think people are gonna disagree, but this was probably one of the best dirt races I think GLSR has ever had.
Well, it's a great job, and you earned P2, and it was fun to watch. I enjoyed it. I mean, I'm not gonna say I didn't.
There we go.
But I mean, I can put it up there towards the top. I still think the Alex Cummings race that
I forget about that one.
The
Yeah.
automatic cautions were not on, so it was pretty much missing all the wrecks, and Alex catching up with the leaders through lap traffic to win that race. That's up there. But either way, still a great race here tonight. Throw some shout outs out.
Yeah, shout out to my sponsors. Huge shout out to Telder, congratulations. My Talladega win is now superseded, and that's okay. And most importantly, shout out to my wife. Oh, and thank you, Scala, for doing what you do every week. We appreciate it, man.
Absolutely. Just know this: he won at an actual racetrack.
Yes, see, exactly. Superseded, irrelevant. We don't even care.
There you go. And ironically, for his win too, he had to go through a wreck. So seems to be common here. Nah, good job,
Very
man. You
true.
earned it. So.
Thank you, Scala.
Yep. Josh Gagnon finishing in the second position. As definitely a great job on his part. Matt Telder leading all 100 laps here this evening and goes to victory lane, as I know he's probably been waiting for this interview for a while. So Clark said in chat that he'll never hear the end of this one.
Oh, I'm glad you took a minute. I'm out of breath.
Still? I mean,
We did a victory lap around the house.
Well,
Which I don't know if you know, but I live in a townhouse. There's 6 of these bitches connected together. That's a big lap.
that's a big lap, and he's probably got about 15 neighbors calling the cops right now. Some guy's running in my backyard. But either way, still, man, congratulations. What a race it was. You had to, let's see, about 6 or 7 restarts that you had to battle through, and then lo and behold, you got Joey Ladisor in your back bumper looking to try to win this race, and a pretty wild one.
Yeah. Man,
AFib, anyone? Anybody got a defibrillator? He might need it.
no, I don't even have words. Like, you know, as much, you know, I used to be the GLSR's bad child. You know, half the rule book is written because of me. And, you know, honestly, like, getting thrown out for the year I did was probably the best thing for me. Because then I started focusing on doing other stuff. I, you know, got with you, started doing Road to Pro, learning a lot of discipline, a lot of focus, a lot of just back it down, like, let it come to you. Don't force it. Don't put myself in bad spots. I've only ever put myself in a bad spot once this year, and what happened? I ended up wrecked. It was the only race I've not finished this year. So, I owe a lot of this to you. As, you know, cheeky as that sounds, I owe a ton of this to you, all of this to you. You helped me with Road to Pro, stuff like that. Just, it's completely changed how I drive, how I race, take what's given to me, stuff like that. And yeah, the restarts at the end, like the last thing I wanted to see was that caution with like 10 or 12 to go or whatever it was when Brewer got the pit wall.
Somebody had to do it tonight.
Yeah. Yeah, and then like I did get scared a little bit a couple times. When I seen Joey disappear from my mirror and I thought the slider was coming, but thankfully the top was just too overpowering. So,
well, it worked out obviously for you there. And then, you know, the one thing that you know, I'm pretty sure a lot of people seen is, you know, you get out there and you run laps and you have the pace to get out there and run up front in races or put yourself in spots to get, you know, the best finish you can when you have a bad handling car or whatnot. But you know, it just takes putting races together in your case, and that's what you did here. You know, you've been doing it throughout the season here, even when it's not the best of runs, but it's got to feel pretty good to know that it looks like, you know, you're potentially, after 6 races now, a potential fighter for a championship here.
yeah, it's just the big thing is the rest of the season, just keep our head on straight and be smart. It's, you know, showing we have the pace, you know, even at the 1.5 miles and stuff like that, I've struggled with that. Like, I got to thank the KJD2 guys a lot. Like, we run practice, you know, most weeks. And, like, Fontaine and Dalton, they find stuff that I don't find, that I'm lacking in. And obviously, we know, you know, Fontaine is, you know, no slouch or whatever to it. So it's like he has just, they have all these little tips and tricks that just, you know, the little things that I'm missing that take me from a 12th place to a 5th place. So being able to just work on that, have the, you know, the full support of that whole team and then the KJ22 team, just everything has just been kind of a full revolution or whatever. Like, you know, like it's Strayer, you know, Strayer keeps messaging me after every race, like, oh, you get another gold sticker for tonight. And Peachin's like, I don't know who this Elder is. Like, so it's good. It's a good feeling too to turn around and have the league back behind me now versus, you know, being the one that was always fighting for everything. So yeah, I don't have anything else, man. It's just, I'm still kind of in awe. Like, I don't think I've ever gripped the wheel tighter than I've gripped it that last green white checker. So
well,
probably go check to make sure there's not a handprint in it.
Well, that's a good thing you wear those 4D gloves. But needless to say, man, great job here tonight. Congratulations on the win. Obviously, you've earned it. As I said to Josh, same thing, finishing second. You earned this one and leading all the laps and going to victory lane. And I do want to see the bad boy Elder come out again. I mean, come on. We gotta, right now you've made that step from being, I can't even think of like somebody like, in real life that's been like that troublemaking guy that didn't win a race. So, I mean, you're getting closer to being Kyle Busch status. Just got to get
like
there.
a Carson. I would say I'm like Carson Hocevar now,
but I mean, that is your neighbor. But anyways, but great job. Send some shouts whoever you like to.
Yeah, I got to thank, you know, Jim over, you know, 4D Racewear, you know, shoes, gloves, hats, jerseys, you need it, he's got it. And they are extremely durable and extremely comfy. So you need any kind of sim racing gear, go check out 4dracewear.com. You got to thank all the boys at KJD2 and KJD22, you know, like I said, they're a major support group. Thanks, you know, I got to thank, honestly, Strayer, Brewer, and Peachin for letting me come back. So without, without their approval, we wouldn't be sitting here having this conversation. I wouldn't be racing on Wednesday nights. I'd be watching the broadcast. Not that I don't do that while I race anyway.
Right.
But you wouldn't have an in-race reporter otherwise. So, and then, thank you for the broadcast. Obviously, we're glad that you came back, a couple seasons ago and are back now, hopefully for the entirety and length of whatever GLSR may end up being. So, yeah, that's about it. Good job, Josh, on finishing second, getting through that last lap melee. I haven't watched it yet. I've seen some things. I've heard Devin through kind of a not so great move, and it sucks for Joey. Sucks for, I saw Sam get wrecked, or Sam self spin or whatever he did. But I think somebody said he came back to like 6th or 7th or something like that. So that was a hell of a recovery too for them. So overall, I think pretty decent night for the team. I think we're still up there in the team championship. I'm curious to see where I sit in points now after tonight, coming in 4th or 5th or wherever I was. So, but yeah, I'm not doing another victory lap though. That was tiring. I'm too old and fat for this. So,
welcome to the old and fat club.
I gotta give a shout out to my mom. She watches damn near every fucking thing that I do. Oops, sorry for swearing.
That's 2 of them. I'm counting 2 F-bombs and something else. I think I forget what the other one was.
Hey, well, I don't get to swear on the Scholarcast anymore. So
good point.
But yeah, to my mom, she watches every league I do, everything else. She's a big supporter of me too. So, hi mom, love you, thank you. Oh, and I said I promised that my stepsister, I don't even know what technically she's family friend, stepsister, adopted sister, whatever. Karen, I said if I ever won a race, I would shout her out too, so she gets hers too.
There you go, man. Congratulations. Go enjoy the win, and I guess maybe the other superstition we need to do is have Evans run a Scholarcast truck, and you'll win.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyways.
Yeah. So, and I'm gonna go find that dude that makes truck diecast. There's a diecast being made for this truck. This one is going in a case on a shelf with lights in it.
I know a couple people.
And a photo.
So there you go. Great job, man.
Yeah. Thank you, Scal. I appreciate it.
You too, bud. Matt Telder, the winner here tonight, as he has earned his first career win, and I think he said it perfect. He's gone from now the Carson Hocevar, and might be working his way slowly into becoming the Kyle Busch of the series. He can go cause some more trouble, but needless to say, in all seriousness, though, he did a great job this evening and a great race for everybody. I mean, obviously some very tight racing. There's going to be some angry people and stuff, and obviously that's part of it. I've been on both sides of that, so. But congratulations to everyone here tonight. Put on a great race. Congratulations to Sean Peach and everybody who decided to throw the trucks back into it and let them go racing on a Wednesday night here at Eldora. It was a lot of fun to be a part of. Next week, we go to Indianapolis for the Brickyard, and we'll see if we get ourselves another new winner here this season, or will it be one of the usual names up there at the front. Should be a pretty fun one to race, and kind of ironic that Teller goes back to the track that ended everything basically a couple seasons ago at the Brickyard next week. So, but we'll have to see what happens. I'm going to bed. It's been a tiring week already, and it's only Wednesday. And oh, by the way, let's think about the people important here, and that's the ones involved in this hurricane right now, Hurricane Milton. Found out during the broadcast that there were some people killed in that tornado that hit down my home area there at Vero Beach, and just hopefully I'm thinking about that. Well, I'm thinking about those, but hopefully just make sure I don't know any of them or something or whatever, nobody close. But still, it's a terrible situation all the way around. And then Hurricane Milton, of course, caused rage now on the west coast of Florida, and going to be working its way across the state here throughout the evening and into the morning time. And again, make sure you click on that American Red Cross link and help them out. So, all right, appreciate it, buddy. You guys enjoy the rest of your Wednesday night. Always remember, this isn't just a game. It's iRacing. See ya.
This copyrighted broadcast may not be reproduced, reused, or retransmitted in any form without the authorized written consent of Captain eSports Network. Captain would like to thank all of his loyal fans for your continued support, and he hopes you enjoyed today's broadcast.
The following is a special presentation. From the Captain eSports Network.